covered Longines on the channel before, partly because I have a soft spot for the brand, as it was my gateway into watches. Good or bad, I'm not sure. And partly because they continue to produce some cracking pieces. Longines certainly has a great back catalogue to look back on, but in recent times it appears they have been listening to enthusiasts and trimming down case dimensions to replicate pieces even closer to their historic siblings. The Sector Dial, released around the end of 2019, is one of those unassuming, simple pieces on the surface, but when you dig a little deeper, there's more than meets the eye. Friend of the channel, Dimi, aka the Chunky Wrist, thought so too, so when he offered this one up as a loaner for a few weeks, I obviously couldn't say no. Dimi's Instagram page will be linked in the description below, so be sure to check out his entire collection. Paying tribute to the original pilot watches of the late 30s, early 40s, we find a slightly larger, more modern interpretation. However, Longines kept it very restrained and did very well here in not overdoing it. The brushed stainless steel case comes in at a very comfortable 38.5mm, combined with a thickness of 11mm, a lug to lug of just over 47mm, and of course my favourite lug width of 19mm. You truly do have a modern, vintage piece that caters to a lot of wrists. The lugs have some angle to them, but perhaps overreach a little, often a gripe made of Longines reissues, although I didn't have any problems in day-to-day wear. The transition from the case to the lugs, however, is very elegant and it retains the vintage feeling. There is a small step on the side of the case for some depth and shape, but nothing too fancy or unnecessary. The accurately sized up, non-screw down sign crown is fantastic to grip, and winding of the Longines L893 automatic movement is buttery smooth. I had no issues wearing this day to day, nor was there any digging on the wrist. There's also hacking of the seconds for accurate timekeeping, and water resistance is an unfortunate 30 meters. There are a few coloured leather options when it comes to strap choices, and a secondary funky NATO is also included. This review piece, however, was supplied with a custom black leather strap which looks significantly dressy, but throw on the NATO and you have a great casual option also. I tried a few different coloured straps and they all look great, so this Sector Dial was far more versatile than I expected. One small issue with the provided NATO, more of a gripe of my own, is that it was an 18mm size despite the lug width of 19mm. It also felt a little spongy, if that makes sense, and I'm not sure it would mould that well over time to the wearer's wrist. On the reverse side, there's a polished, engraved caseback. Its finishing is lovely and again suits the reissue perfectly. Beating away inside is the Longines automatic L893, which is a 27 joule movement, producing a hefty 64 hours of power reserve, thanks to the slightly lower beat rate of 25,200 vibrations per hour. And some tech upgrades do include a silicon balance spring, to name a few. A nice touch of modernisation for a classically styled watch. Overall, the Sector Dial fits supremely well on my 6.5 inch wrist, and would suit those with even smaller wrist sizes. In contrast, it also looks spectacular on the larger, chunkier wrists. I'm looking at you, Dimi. Its classic styling will suit most occasions, office or casual, and it simply looks great on wrist. Nothing else I can say here. Sitting on top is the sapphire crystal, which is treated with anti-reflective coating on the underside. Looking beyond this, you are met with a wonderfully balanced and warm, creamish coloured dial split up into quarters, which up close has a slight texture to it. The minutes track running around the outside in a silver tone as a separate ring has excellent legibility, and the black baton style markers help with this as they are slightly raised along with the large batons at 5-minute increments. I love how the numerals also follow the direction of the outer track, exactly the same as the original, and I had no issues reading them. The straight cut blued stick hands are simple, functional, and add a great contrast colour to the dial. The minute hands pass precisely over the outer minute track for accurate time telling. Now, the sub-dial. Love or hate cut-off numerals, I honestly didn't notice it. It fills the dial perfectly and maintains the symmetry this dial style is known for. Now if you check out ID Guy, I'll put a link in the description below, he actually shows variations of smaller and larger sub-dials, and I really think Longines trade-off here just works. Again, attention to detail is superb here. While showing running seconds, it mimics the larger outer scale on the smaller textured subdial, allowing once again accurate seconds reading. So, as you can see, what appears simple at a glance is all done for a reason and with intent. An excellently executed dial in my opinion. There's no loom on this watch, which is a little bit of a shame, but still mimics the original. But who cares, those blue hands are stunning. By today's standard, the Sector Dial would be considered a dress watch, and the more watches I review, the more it's made me think about so-called watch categories. This watch was a pilot's watch, a tool watch used for purpose. In the modern era, I feel we have lost that essence, a tool fit for purpose. And that's what's so great about this release by Longines. It hasn't lost its identity with faux patina or a vintage looking dial. It's purely an update, or upgrade if you like, on a classic design that will never go out of fashion. And I really admire that. Thanks for watching, and please do subscribe to the channel. It really helps. And if you want to see more daily content, don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Mr. Ace Cape Productions. See you next time.